This is 17th Avenue, the second street of Music Row. The first Music Row is over here on 16th, of course.
Okay.
The very beginning of Music Row.
Huh.
We'll take it from the end and come back up.
Let's do that.
I woke and he was gone. There's no more baby, 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 all night long. He called me baby, baby, all night long. Lord, I feel so empty since he's been gone. Now I lie here and I die here until the dawn. I miss my
These old studios along here?
There's studios, publishing companies, management companies, law offices. It's just, I mean, music law, entertainment law office.
Right.
It's just unbelievable.
Wow. There's a lot of them in there.
Oh my God, they're
Good
everywhere.
heavens.
You see, a couple of these old houses are for sale.
Uh-huh.
They're actually economically unfeasible.
I'll bet they are.
No, it's really weird. At the end of this row of condos here,
Uh-huh.
the very last one down on the far end, where that champagne-colored Lexus and that other car is,
Right.
Larry Henley has a condo there. He wrote "Wind Beneath My Wings."
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And here we are at the studio.
All right. Well, this is beautiful, man. This just looks like a really nice residential neighborhood.
And here we are at the Parlor.
How about that?
And the engineer isn't here yet, so. Home at last.
All right.
Want to go and load in?
That's how you load in? All right.
I don't know if we can get it. I bet we can.
All right. Hang on a sec. Go ahead. I'll be with you.
I can still hear baby, baby, baby.
Exactly what your equipment is and.
Well, the software interface is something called Pro Tools. That's also the hardware interface, but that means everything happens basically in the computer. When we're recording a session, musicians are out there with the microphones, and that all goes through all the outboard gear back here behind me and the two sidecars, and then from there it goes in through the Pro Tools interface into the computer. So all the tracks are stored there, recorded there, stored there, and then when you're listening back, rather than having all the tracks come right back out of the computer and go to a console, that all happens inside the computer where the tracks are mixed down into a cue mix for the musicians, a mix for the control room, and then separate cue feeds for individual musicians if they want more of themselves.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And that all happens in the computer now, whereas before you had a tape machine and a console. They've basically both been replaced by the computer. So this big surface up here, all of this part of it over here, and all of this here are simply just a mirror of what's going on in the computer. They're not actually, there's no audio going through these faders.
I see.
They just mirror what's going on in the computer. It's like a giant mouse.
So why don't you tell me what it is that you guys do? You spin around.
I mean, where's the drink? We do.
Artist development? Is that what you call it, or
I do
exactly?
that.
Yeah.
I do that. I do artist development.
And you.
And
this is the studio you develop them in.
I've been doing 2 or 3 years over here with John.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I worked with Snake for years. Ron Reynolds, nicknamed Snake.
Uh-huh.
And he decided that he was going to retire. And I went, oh my God, what do I do now? And somehow I wound up over here.
Yeah, I think it was you followed us. You followed that piano over here to us.
Yeah, that piano came from the Music Mill, which was Alabama's studio, and I'd played that piano 1,000 times.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Which piano?
It's out there in the.
Out there in the.
It's right through those doors for those.
Okay.
I'll show you in a few minutes unless you want to see it
Piano room,
now.
Wow, man. Thanks.
All right.
Huh.
But this is the piano from Alabama studio, the Music Mill.
No kidding.
And that's where they cut all their big old hit records.
I'll be damned.
And we cut Earl Thomas Conley and Anita Pointer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, he did a duet with Earl Thomas Conley and Anita Pointer
Wow.
over at that studio. I came over here and John is just so easy to work with and such a whiz at this Pro Tools thing. And I assume there's a whole big long story behind that because he got his degree from MTSU in
Recording industry management, I think is what they call it, with a emphasis in production and technology.
there you go.
They have lots of big words there.
So it was just so easy to work. I just stayed here, and now he can't get rid of me.
Uh-oh. So, Ron, tell me this.
Yes, sir.
How do you connect up with a new artist? Do they approach you? Do you approach them, or how do they know about you, or how does that work?
Word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
usually.
Okay.
Why don't you call? He'd be great with you.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay.
So,
And you've been doing this for how long?
well, this particular phase, artist
Yeah.
development. and
Uh-huh.
everything, oh, probably 18 years now.
Really? And before that?
Before that, I was just a hack piano player.
Yeah, right. That's sure.
Before that, I just did sessions.
Bar mitzvahs and
Bar-
weddings, right? Yeah.
Weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Okay.
And a funeral or two thrown in
Okay.
here
Yeah.
and
A
there.
little B3 now and
Yeah, a
then.
little B3
Yeah.
and the folksel.
So a young
Yeah,
artist,
Oh, thanks. Accordion, he said.
accordion.
Thanks for.
One
Yeah, you heard that story, huh?
He knows that story too.
So tell me, a young artist comes to you, and what exactly do you do for them? Walk me through that.
Okay. They need to be really good to begin with,
Okay.
because I don't do that part.
Uh
I don't help them be good.
huh. They're already have
If
to
they're
be
good, I help them or try to help them be better.
Right.
You take them from the raw talent. They're usually young. You take them from that raw talent and begin to teach them everything about the business. And part of my mission is to keep them from falling in the holes that are available to fall into for young artists. There are people waiting around every corner to take your money and do nothing in return. So part of my job is to keep them from doing that, and I teach them how to listen to demos and listen to the song. not to the singer and not to the band. Listen to the song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an easy thing to do
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. The proof of that really working was when I took Lindsay over to, I took her to several pitch meetings, but we were at Hadley, around the corner. At Hadley one day, had like 5 or 6 writers in there playing stuff for us, and we'd listened to probably a dozen songs, and I don't know if it was Kathy Anderson, who it was, but they said, ask Lindsay, God, you're really good, because they'd play a song and they'd get into it a little ways, and Lindsay'd either go yes or no or whatever, and they said, you really listen to these songs and you know what you're listening to. They said, how did you ever learn how to just listen to a song? And she went, he taught me.
Hmm.
And I went, whoa, it does work.
So how do you do that? Teach me.
Well, when you play something for someone, for instance, Lindsay, since we're talking about Lindsay Highlander, when you play something for her, and she's never had any experience at auditioning songs, and you play something and she'll go, oh no, I don't like that. That's not me. I could never sing like that. I don't want you to sing like that. Listen to the song. Don't listen to that singer.
Mm-hmm.
She said, it feels like hell. I don't like the way that song feels. Don't listen to the band. Well, you can't just do that one time and then them go, bingo, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. So you spend an awful lot of time going, just humor me. Just listen to it. Take it home, listen to this song 3 or 4 times. I think you'd just sing the crap out of it. I think you'd be great. Eventually,
so you isolate, you
the song.
eliminate the sound of the band, whether they're good or whether you like the guitar player or
Forget all
whether you
that.
like the singer, or you just imagine yourself singing that song. Is that how you do it? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So after you pick some songs, what's the next step?
Next step is working. Okay, for instance, with Lindsay, we spent about a year with me flying up to Virginia every 3 or 4 weeks with an armload of songs, literally 50 or 60 songs, new songs that I'd gone around to publishing companies and listened and boiled it down to 60 songs. So I'd listen to a bunch of songs. So I'd go up there, and we'd spend 3 or 4 days listening to those songs, and we'd get it down to about a dozen. Then we'd listen to those more and more and more, and we'd get it down, and we'd get it down, and then we'd work on the songs. The next week, she'd fly here. We'd do acoustic demos, acoustic guitar, maybe, what else did we use? Like Doug Moore?
Yeah, maybe something for color, and sometimes bass, added in to get some bottom end.
And some piano.
Yeah.
And we did that for months, and then finally came in and did the whole project, and there's 11 songs on her CD.
Uh-huh. And how long did this process take? Years, huh?
Well, it took over a year to do it all.
Hmm.
It's not, I mean, it's not an event, it's a process.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
and it's a learning curve for the artist.